Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I just want to do a really quick video here. I'm sure everybody by now has seen how Bruce Simpson from RC Model Reviews and XJT got his TBS Tango 2 to work with his Mobula 6 or whatever Frsky D8 Mod receiver quad he has. And it's a pretty good idea. Kind of thought that something like that would have worked, but I just really didn't put the time and effort into figuring it out. Instead, I jammed a crossfire receiver into my Mobula 6. But here is how I did it, and this is all just with spare parts that I have lying around the shop. There's a ton of different ways to skin this cat. This is just the way I did it. I have an old XJT Frsky module that I had from when I was running my Nirvana, which I don't have that anymore. Kind of Mr. Nirvana a little bit, but I had this XJT module. I mean, I couldn't even give this thing away. Nobody wanted it, but I'm sure people are going to want it now. And I also had this. It's a little piggyback thing for putting an XJT module into one of the new X lights. So it's got the micro TX mounting, or the mini TX mounting, whatever you want to call it, the mini JR Bay. I don't remember what it's called, but that would mount on there, and then you'd put a full-size XJT module into that. I've got a crossfire receiver, and I have this. This is the Frsky S-Port Air Linker. If you have a lot of Frsky receivers, this is probably the easiest way to flash it rather than having to deal with your controller. But basically, I'm just looking for a source of 5-volt power. That's all this is for. There's plenty of different ways to do this, and this is actually a pretty simple mod. Only requires a very limited amount of soldering. Plus, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but the concept is still the same. On our XJT module, this port here, and well, this one also over here, this has ground power, and this is the S port, but we're not really too concerned about it. And all we're going to do is take this servo connector, and we're just going to connect it into here. And now when we power the air linker, it's going to power the module. And because it's powering the module, it is now going to put power out on the pins in the back. So the way this works out on the back is, I don't really know what this one is, but this is ground, power, something else that we don't care about, and then CPPM is the very top pin here. Now, there is a latency penalty for sure with this, but this is just, again, this is just how I did it. So go ahead and put this little piggyback module thingy on here, or you can just direct solder it, tear this thing down. You know, there's, like I said, a lot of different ways to do this. And then on your crossfire receiver, I've got one with pins on it. So we got ground, 5 volts. This is going to be our CPPM. So we're going to have to change that in the radio. And all you got to do is just connect the cable to it however you want to do it. You can direct solder it. You can use the pins that came with this thing. But just remember, if you are using this piggyback thing, you do have to move this gray wire from here to here. That is pretty much it as far as the connections go. We'll go ahead and plug our air linker in. Basically, like I said, just a source of 5-volt power. And we'll go ahead and power this guy up here. And there you go. Fire up my Tango 2.
Welcome to Tango 2. Throttle warning.
And if we go into our crossfire menu, after we've got it bound, just bind it like you normally would. Darn it.
Telemetry
There
recovered.
you go. You're going to want to go into the Nano RX menu. And the only thing you got to do is you got to change your output 1 to ppm. That is it for the connection from the Tango 2 or the Crossfire or whatever you're using to the receiver. Now from your XJT module to your quad, it's however you would normally bind things. So for this XJT module, you got to hold down the bind button while applying power. Yeah, you know, thank you, Frsky. You always I hate that. And then I always use the CLI commands, and that's it. That's all you got to do to make this thing work. And you know, There you go. Now, this is not an elegant setup. This is kind of both. You know, it's kind of BS how we have to do this. But you know, if you really want to use the Tango 2, to fly your Frsky models, well, I mean, the nice thing about this is you can do D8, D16. Same concept works if you had a R9M module. It will work the same way. You are introducing a latency penalty. What that latency penalty is, I have no idea. I don't have the equipment or the time to calculate all that, but you know, this is one way to do it. Instead of putting a crossfire receiver in every one of your quads, especially your micros, because you know, adding that extra weight does actually really drastically affect performance. You know, if you add a gram to something that's only 20 grams, that's actually relatively a lot of weight. But you know, like I said, a lot of different ways to do this. But this is just the way I did it. You can make this into its own 3D printed capsule and just have a module you carry around in your back pocket. I plan on using this with just a USB powered battery bank. Yeah, that's it. If you guys, I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. If you have any questions about this, please put it down in the video description. Is this something that you think is viable for flying the Tango 2, or would you just say the heck with it and have 2 different radios? I know for me, the reason why I like the Tango 2 so much is because it packs down so small in my bag, and now if I have to carry 2 radios, then really, what is the point? I do actually really like the TBS Tango 2. Very well built radio. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff here, please check the video description down below. It has some affiliate links in there. Those would greatly help me out as far as bringing new products and new videos to YouTube. Make sure you click like and subscribe. Head over to Etsy if you're interested in some of the other stuff that I sell. I, you know, make cool stuff, put it on the internet, make a couple bucks. Actually, I don't make a whole lot on these, but these radio grips are really nice. And of course, you know, don't take my word for it. Look at all the reviews on there. And if you really want to support me, head over to Patreon, hook me up. I have tiers as low as $2. I mean, what is $2 to you in a month? It's nothing. What is it to me a month? It is huge. I appreciate every single one of my patrons. Thank you for supporting me and showing me the love. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. This is a real quick video. Like, subscribe, check out the links, and I will see you all next time. All right, guys.